everything is fine. Nothing is wrong. Stop asking me if anything is wrong. Everything is fine, nothing's wrong. Everything is fine, nothing is wrong. Fine, everything's wrong. Everything is fine, nothing's wrong. Everything is fine, nothing is wrong. Fine, everything's wrong. Fine, everything's wrong. Fine, everything's wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dustin Chafin.
Yay! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. Give it up for Anthony. Yay! What's wrong, Anthony? Seriously, what is wrong?
Everything.
You have that face. People want to, you have those sad eyes, those puppy dog eyes. People want to make sure you're okay. So
Resting sad face.
Resting sad face.
Yeah.
I have that too. People always think something's wrong. I'm like, it's you. It's nothing wrong. It's you that you're talking to me. That's what's making it wrong. I was fine until you started talking to me. I use that a lot. I don't have very many friends. I have you guys. That's all I got.
Yeah, we get each other. That's what it is.
I got it. Speaking of my other friends are here on the show, please give it up for Adam Holt and Jeffrey Paul, everybody. Hey, look at that. See? I'm bringing you in earlier and earlier. That means I like you guys.
That's good.
Even Jeff. Even Jeff. What is you got your Mets jersey? You got your Mets jersey?
I'm getting ready for opening day, man.
When is that?
This week. It's I think
that's
Friday.
Fun. Yeah,
Friday.
That's fun.
Every team is playing.
That's great. Yeah, I didn't get to a baseball game here. I want to do a Dodgers game or something this year. But the Mets, I love that stadium. That's so fun.
Yeah, good food.
Best food ever. Yeah, and there's not really a bad seat. Like it's the way it's designed is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, it's smaller than the old stadium, which was Shea Stadium. You know, it's smaller by about 20,000 seats.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's but it's great. I love it. It's interesting that it's smaller. I like that old Yankee Stadium too. I remember when I first got to New York, that old one was great. But
the original,
the original, it was almost like they had it wasn't fair because they knew how to hit that one right side or something. It just felt like if they could always hit that one side and get a homer every time. Yeah, right.
I gotta say though, Citi Field is not good for a concert. Shea Stadium wasn't good either, but Citi Field I think is worse.
Yeah, who have you seen there?
I went to the stadium tour there last year. I went to go see Motley Crue, Def Leppard, that whole thing.
Okay.
And, I didn't think it was all that good. Thought the show was a little too long. And secondly, I just thought like the sight lines were pretty hard. Yeah,
stadium stuff is interesting. I saw a show at the Cowboy Stadium that was pretty good, but it was so big, And then Yankee Stadium, I saw a game. The new Yankee Stadium, I saw a show. It was the Metallica.
Oh wow!
It was Metallica. What was that? The four whatever
you went to go see the fourth thrash bands.
That
was Metallica,
Slayer.
Anthrax,
Slayer.
and Megadeth.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was definitely. We had pretty good seats, but
that helps.
Yeah, well, Giant Stadium, we got there like 4 hours early, stood in line on the sidewalk, whatever, in the summer, and we got front row. I caught pics and everything.
Whoa.
I was like, we were right in the front, man. It was just like, it was great. I've never done anything like that, but it was great. It was really cool.
I never get that close
to Giant Stadium to see Metallica.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's Metallica, Pantera, and Mammoth.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
This is when I know I have probably one of the coolest chicks on the planet. Because a lot of guys buy, tickets or gifts. Leah's really into Alice Cooper. So I got her Alice Cooper tickets and she's through the moon.
Nice.
It's Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie. We're going to go see that.
That's a good bill.
Nita Strauss is back in the band.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So she's a really good guitar player.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a time to see him. He's getting up there. So
where's he playing? Is he playing a small venue?
It's like I don't know where it is. Somewhere Anaheim. I could think where the Angels play probably.
Oh, cool.
No, he's not playing. He's playing at a baseball stadium.
I think so. Yeah, it's with Rob Zombie, dude, and it's Alice Cooper. It's like he's not playing House of Blues.
Yeah. No, but that's got to be about for a concert, that's got to be about 40,000-50,000 seats.
Well, they don't do the whole thing. They cut it off, probably cut it in half. What they do.
Probably wouldn't be playing like the arena where the Ducks play.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's Anaheim Stadium. I don't know what that is.
I saw him at a small, I think it was at Roseland, maybe, when I was in high school. It was a Halloween show.
Nice.
So that was a cool.
He was on show. He was supporting Motley Crue for a while, and he also supported Kiss. And then when he went out on his own, he was playing like, he'd play like stuff around here, kind of like Adam, like maybe like the Wellmont.
Yeah.
So I don't know, even with Rob Zombie,
the Honda Center, the Honda Center in Anaheim.
So that's got to be like at least a hockey stadium.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That where they make Hondas?
They do. They make Hondas, and then they play goth rock.
They have concerts at sports arenas, but they're all owned by corporations. I never know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Honda, whatever.
They're paying for the sponsorship is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pays for the stadium. Yeah. That's how it works. You can't have life without sponsors. You know what I mean? We don't exist anymore.
I know. I'm working on getting a personal sponsor for myself.
You see what baseball teams
15
are
years
doing
sober.
now. Baseball teams now for the first time on their jerseys and on the batting helmets, because salaries are, through the roof. What they're paying these guys. They're going to do sponsorships on like their uniforms.
Oh, like a NASCAR car.
Yeah, like what they started doing in hockey, because like Ohtani, he becomes a free agent at the end of this year. He's going to get between 50 and 60 million a year.
Yeah.
He's the biggest baseball player in the world.
18,000 seats at the Honda Center.
Wow.
So
that's the hockey.
Oh, but then they still cut it.
The hockey? Okay.
Yeah.
They still
what they may do is they could curtain that from on the top sometime. They do that to Prudential. When I saw Hailstorm and Evanescence, they didn't sell out the whole thing, but you were there, right?
I was there, yeah.
And that was excellent. Yeah, that's a good venue to see both those bands, because that means they're going to put on a really good show, like like something visual.
Yeah, well, I'm with Bergazzi this week, and we're doing where the Penguins play, PSG and the PNC and all these like huge arenas. And usually, they'll probably be about 8,000 seats, and then they will curtain off some, but it depends. But he sold out Bridgestone, and that's 17,000 seats in Nashville.
Damn, that's Alice Cooper numbers.
Sold it out. Yeah, exactly. So,
that's right.
We're gonna have like 10,000 seats probably on Friday, so that's pretty great. I've never had 10,000. I had 6,000 once, but. So it's pretty cool.
Damn, that's awesome. 10,000.
Yeah, I'm going to do all new stuff. I am because this is really funny. So, I dropped a special, Cranky Pants, and check it out, guys, on Dry Bar. And it's really funny. It's like, when you start to get stuff out there and then you realize how people just come at you online, positive and negative. And I tell you, people, they released a clip on, the greasy pig contest joke I do. And I tell you, there's probably one group of people you don't want mad at you. That's participants and supporters of a greasy pig contest. They're just going crazy. You don't know about pigs. What you know about greasy pig? I grease you up. Like they're just coming at me online.
Wow.
all
misspelled, all the things.
You gotta love the internet. It's just a positive, fun place, isn't it?
Well, it's just so ridiculous. It's like, it used to be like, if you made a comment, like it was, public, and you had to speak up, you had to talk to a person, you had to really, if you really want to hurt somebody, you had to say it out loud. Now it's like, they just hide behind their computer like these, little cyber cowards. Like it's just really bad.
Do you remember a couple of years ago, Lady Gaga was on what's that award show? The MTV Music Awards.
Yeah.
So I put out a tweet. I just put out, hey, great set. She rocked it. So I was like, what are you, gay? Yeah.
Kinda.
I'm gay because I like Lady Gaga. I'm a homosexual because I like a brand of music. Because I wrote that.
No, you're not gay because you like Lady Gaga. You're gay because you like Broadway musicals. We know that, Jeff. That's
you like Broadway musicals. Go see Book of Mormon. Tell me you don't like it.
I love. Dude, you kidding me? I lived that life. I loved it. It's so funny. I literally lived the Book of Mormon. So yes,
I was.
That show's fantastic.
You know what I started watching last night?
What?
You reminded me because I was watching My Name is Earl.
Ah, fun. I hung out with that guy, the guy who created it.
Didn't
Greg
you say
Daniel.
you went in for it?
I did. I auditioned for it. Yeah. And
You auditioned for it.
That was really funny to be at his house and say, yeah, I almost got this.
You hung out with him after?
At his house. Like Nate knows him and we all hung out at his house to play poker. And I was just like, and it was just really, and Nate told him that like, cause he was there when I like got the call back and everything.
Yeah.
So it was like really funny. I showed him the headshot that I had like a trucker hat on and, you know.
That's so fun. Oh yeah. I saw that. You showed me the photo. Yeah. So I was watching it last night and I just kept picturing you in it instead.
It was, you know, that guy was just a better actor, I guess. Better actor.
Who wound up getting the role?
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee. Who's not even Southern at all, but whatever.
No,
fuck
not
that.
He did a good job. He looked good in a mustache. That's all.
Pretty sweet mustache. And I was Earl when that show came out. I did it for Halloween.
Yes.
Like a year after the show came out. So that's my connection to it.
He was also in, Jason Lee was in Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
Singer, and he was the lead singer in Sweetwater.
Sweetwater.
Love that movie. I haven't
He's
seen
also
it in a
in
while.
Mallrats.
Yeah, Mallrats.
And Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin.
Hey, he was Dave, wasn't he?
He was Dave and Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I forgot about that.
I used to love Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's so funny. You're a kid. You realize all it was just speeding up the record, but you're
I loved it too. They did an 80s revival. That was what and then I saw the original run. Yeah. Later. It's a great show.
Yeah, well, the early stuff, they slowed it down, and that didn't work. And then then they realized, let's speed it up.
They had to speed it up.
So cool. So today we're talking about movies and music and kind of the blend of how that works together. And fake bands. Who is your favorite? Like bands that were created through the screenplay and through the directors and things like that. And there's been a lot of movies where, you know, there's a band in the movie. Sometimes it's a real band, you know, you watch a movie and you'd be like Madonna's singing in Vision Quest at the bar, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like a real thing and it becomes a single and it's like a real movie. But then a lot of times it's fictitious where maybe the band is real, but the actor singing it is not a real singer, but maybe not a bad singer, but not like a traditional band singer. And they just kind of put them in the part and whatever, other person or whatever. So that's always an interesting thing, I think, when they do that. So I was trying to do random pulls today. I did have one that was a fake. One was real and one was fake. And speaking of gay, Liza Minnelli.
Seen her in concert.
Of course you have. I get a lot. I don't even know where this came from, but this is apparently Robert De Niro is an amazing saxophone player. I had no idea.
Robert De Niro?
What is that with Robert De Niro?
This is Robert De Niro and Liza Minnelli. This is a movie called New York, New York. Original songs by John Kander, Fred Ebb, musical supervisor Ralph Burns. Yeah, I don't even think I've listened to it, but somehow it's in my collections. People give me records sometimes, and
it's good on it.
I don't know. I think so. Liza's great, so I bet it's okay. I mean, he's pretending to be a sax player, so it's like that's the pretend
he doesn't
part.
Actually play the sax
on
the songs.
Come on. Okay. No, there's no way. Yeah, you think Bobby De Niro's playing Coltrane? I don't think so.
Gonna play the sax now. Gonna play the sax now.
You
sax.
You playing for me? But yeah,
a little bit.
I'll
play a little bit.
I don't know anything about this album, but if you guys want to check it out,
bit.
it could be a funny movie. It might be. Oh, he's still going. I love it. You're still doing this awful De Niro impression.
That should be the show.
You look more like Woody Allen when you do that, but that's okay.
He also plays music.
He does plays clarinet actually, but Robert doesn't play music. This is this is an act.
He's faking it.
He's faking it. Just like he tried to do stand up too. I don't know. He did a movie like he was a comic.
Man, I watched that. It was awful.
Yeah, comedian or something. I think.
You didn't like Comedian?
No, I didn't like it. Wait, you weren't in that, were you?
No.
Oh, okay.
King of Comedy, I liked. I thought that was phenomenal. That's a great movie. He plays a perfect talk show host. And he was great in The Joker. I think that's
was
the
great in
role.
The Joker.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
role
a
that he
great
plays
movie,
well.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see King of Comedy, Anthony?
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh my God, dude! It's like the greatest. It's like one of the
That's
best.
not De Niro.
It is De Niro.
No, he's Rupert Pumpkin.
Wait, which one is the one
Yeah,
where
but
he's
De
a
Niro's
comedian?
playing him. Is what I'm saying.
He plays a stand-up comic, and then he like gets heckled at one point, and he gets into a fight, and somebody films it.
No, that's Comedian.
Okay, I didn't really
That's
like
Comedian.
that one. Okay, I didn't see the other one.
No, this is Scorsese, right? Did he do it?
Yeah.
No, he did After Hours. He did it too, right? King of Comedy, or did
Yeah.
After Hours?
No, he did
After
it.
Hours.
He did After Hours and
And he
King
did
of Comedy.
King of Comedy.
Oh,
Right?
okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope
Jerry
I'm right.
Lewis was in it, right? We're talking about the same movie.
Yeah. Scorsese. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's fantastic. All right, I got it right. You know when you like second guess your references, you're like, is that right? Because we're all winging it here with no Google. You're just like, I think that's right. I think that's. You ever try to sneak Google, Jeffrey? You ever do that where somebody's talking to you and you're just like, really? I think it was the fourth album. And you're like, and you look it up. Yeah, man, actually.
Yeah, I think every week I do something like that.
I do it a lot on Zoom.
I don't do it on this show.
Yeah.
That's funny. So anyway, there's that. Let's see. So then we have this is hilarious. This is not even open. I don't know how I'm getting all these records. It's not necessarily a fake movie. Not a fake movie, but a fake woman.
Tootsie. Oh man.
This would be a different movie today. It would not be a comedy. It would just be a drama. So this is Tootsie. Yeah, with my favorite, who I was named after, Dustin Hoffman. This is fun.
Wow.
It's a great
I don't
movie.
know. I don't know anything about the music. It is a good movie. I don't know about the music. I'm hoping that there's some like I don't know, some like a score, really good score, like orchestra. What do you call it? Orchestra music.
Well, no,
Orchestral.
there is. It is a good. I think there is someone pretty famous.
Stephen Bishop.
Well, Stephen Bishop. Yeah, he used to do a lot of those. I thought maybe it was Burt Bacharach, but he may have wrote a song or two on that as well.
Maybe I don't see it here.
There were some hits off of that, I believe.
Well, Tootsie, I think I might be you. It might be you is like the theme from Tootsie. I think that's a hit, and then the song Tootsie, I think, and then
Go Tootsie Go.
Tootsie Tootsie Roll Roll. Media Zap. I don't know what that is, but anyway. So not sealed. So if anybody wants to buy this, hit me up. It's sealed in the package.
That's worth something.
It might be, right?
It could be.
I looked at it. It opened. It was worth $30. So it was sealed. It might be worth something.
Yeah.
What would you take for that, Dustin?
For this?
Yeah,
31.
If someone wants to buy it, I mean, yeah, I always go high. I go 100.
Okay,
$100.
All right, so it's out there in Twitch. You want an unopened copy of Tootsie?
Or on Amazon Music, wherever you're listening to us or seeing us.
Yeah,
$100. $100.
$100. Maybe you sign it. You sign the outside.
I just say Dustin, which is technically,
Yeah.
could be Hoffman, could be Chafin. We don't know. My mom was pregnant when she saw Midnight Cowboy, so the whole thing makes sense. Cowboy, Midnight, Dustin, yeah. So, and then here's another. This
origin story.
It is. It's my origin name story. So this is one of my favorite movies as a kid. It's just a soundtrack, but Night Shift is such a fantastic movie. And I think it's Ron Howard's first director. His first movie he directed.
I know it. Know what's the end song on that? It's the original version of That's What Friends Are For, not the one with Stevie Wonder. Yeah, always remember that. It's a great movie. That's one of the greatest underrated movies.
Bacharach, I think, is the name.
Burt Bacharach.
But there's some good stuff like Talk is on here. Heaven 17. They were big for a second. Let's see. Quarter Flash. They're the themes. They're the Night Shift. That's the song.
It's a great song. It opens up. It opens up the movie.
Yeah, Pointer Sisters. The Love Too Good to Last, and Rod Stewart. Yeah, he does That's What Friends Are For. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Rod Stewart, or no?
But remember, it was like a huge hit. They did it as a benefit for AIDS.
Oh yeah, Dionne Warwick and all those people.
It was Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, Elton John, and Stevie Wonder.
Oh, nice.
But it was originally, I think, written for this movie.
Yeah, I think this is also Michael Keaton's first role, and so
it's one of his big ones.
This is This is a fantastic. Have you seen it, Anthony? It's really good.
I haven't seen
I'm
it.
an idea man.
But I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's Shelley Long. It's a great movie. Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
Shelley Long.
Come on.
Hey.
The Fonz is in this. Fonz is great.
Hey.
He's a great actor.
Love him. Love him.
I love all your
Winkler.
impressions today, Anthony. They're just really bad, and I want you to keep them coming. Please keep them coming.
Ron Howard put his brother in it. Clint Howard makes an appearance in this
Clint's
movie.
great. Clint
I
Howard
love
is
him and
fantastic.
stuff.
He's always, you see him come up in all these weird roles.
Belzer is in that movie.
He is. Belzer is in this movie. This is a very Belzer movie. You have to wear sunglasses to appreciate it. But it's it's a good movie, man. You get a chance. Night Shift, and the soundtrack's not bad either. So that's my random pools of movies. One fake. That was Robert De Niro playing the sax with Liza Minnelli. So we all gotta research that movie for next time. New York. See how bad it really is.
I want to.
I'll listen to the music. I'm sure it's really bad. And then today it was funny because we did all these bands that were from the movies, and I think it was. I don't know if you guys did this, but I think it would be a disservice to not watch the video of the movie with the song in it, because just to listen to the songs, I felt like not that great. But you watch the movie, and you see the song, hear the song, and everything. I think it really makes it kind of come to life, because it's like if you're just listening to it, I don't think it does it, justice or whatever. So anyway, I hope you guys did the YouTube. Let's start with Adam. What did you bring us today, Adam?
So I went with Streets of Fire from 1984.
Oh, wow.
I have the vinyl, but this is the DVD.
DVD. Nice. Remember those kids?
DVD booklet.
Oh yeah.
And so this the band in it was called Ellen Aim and the Attackers, which is Ellen Aim is the character played by Diane Lane. And so basically the movie has Diane Lane in it. It has Michael Pare. It's got Rick Moranis. It has Willem Dafoe as the villain.
Oh my gosh,
and
so good.
And it has actually a very young actually I think one of his earliest roles, Bill Paxton, in it.
Nice.
And it was this movie was billed as a rock and roll fable, and it just follows Ellen Aim as she's a rock star, gets kidnapped, and her ex Michael Pare shows up in town to rescue her from Willem Dafoe. It's a pretty basic plot, but it's very stylized. It's a fun movie. It did terrible at the box office, but but it kind of became a cult film, mostly on its soundtrack, which it's got. I actually got to pull it up here. I mean, you had the big song from it was Dan Hartman's "I Can Dream About You," and besides that, it was a lot of 80s songs, but also there were some 50s songs thrown in there. There's some swing in there with the blasters, but in the movie, so the two songs I picked were "Nowhere Fast" and "Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young." Both songs performed. Well, I mean, they're both concert kind of. The "Nowhere Fast" opens the movie. "Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young" ends the movie. It's Diane Lane up on stage with her band, so it's Ellen Aim and the Attackers. But it's where it gets complicated. So it is. They took two different women to sing her songs. There's Laurie Sargent sang "Tonight Is What." She sang. See, I'm saying it's complicated. Laurie Sargent sang "Nowhere Fast." Holly Sherwood sang "Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young." They billed them as Fire Incorporated, and the band itself was Laurie Sargent's band, Face to Face, who play the instruments on stage with Diane Lane. But both these songs are written by
Face to Face in the 80s had a big hit called 1098.
So both these songs were written by Jim Steinman. He wrote was it Bonnie Tyler's "Holding Out for a Hero" on Footloose, and "Total Eclipse of the Heart." And both these songs just remind me of both those songs. "Nowhere Fast" just sounds so much like "Holding Out for a Hero." And "Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young" is, especially the beginning, is very much like "Total Eclipse of the Heart." And I mean, these are just big, grand kind of cheesy 80s power ballads for the most part. But I mean, it fits the tone. This is a very this is a very kind of basic movie. It's very there's a lot of cliches in it, but it is just visually such a fun, it's got such a cool visual palette to it. And I don't know, these songs just I think they work in it. There's two other songs that this band has in this film, which is Sorcerer by Jeff's favorite artist Stevie Nicks, and and the other one is I can't find it now, but
did you smoke weed today, Adam?
I'll never be. No, you know what? So I was trying to read up on these songs, and it gets so confusing because there's multiple people that are singing it either on the soundtrack or singing it in the film, and there was a whole lot of rights issues that were going on. So anyway, the interesting thing about "Never Be You," which is the other song they did, was it was written by Tom Petty. So
okay.
But yeah, this was this was a underappreciated, kind of underrated film that's gotten a cult audience, and it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it's definitely over the top, which is it feels like a music video. The entire movie feels like that. This is like my dad's favorite movie. He loved it, man. He watched this thing over and over.
My dad loved this movie too.
It's funny because it takes, it takes like the 50s and kind of, dramatizes all that stuff. And then, and the greasers and all that. Because, our dads were, around all that, and the motorcycles and all that.
It takes place in the 50s?
No, but it's greasers, which are kind of from the 50s, the era. I mean, they look like they're from Streetcar Named Desire. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fictional, time zone or time era or whatever. What is it? Doesn't give you?
At the beginning, it says another time, another place, because they wanted to combine the 50s and the 80s.
Yeah,
so they didn't want to give you. They wanted to make it kind of timeless.
Yeah, and because it is all over the place. Yeah,
sounds confusing.
It is
timeless. It is not.
Yeah, right. But it is. It's a time. It is. Did you? I don't know if Anthony, if you watched the video or do you just listen to the music? Because if you just listen to the music, you're not going to get it at all.
I watched the video.
Okay.
I don't know if it was from the. It looked like a music video, but I think it was. I think it was from the movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody's hotter than Diane Lane, even at her age now. Like, she's the beautiful. So she's so sexy. She's pulling off this whole thing. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not the Eels or anything. It's not, they're not trying to be, they're doing like a musical production of a, it's kind of like how the Elvis movie was like, it's just like over the top and, fun. I don't know. I don't think it was meant to be some masterpiece. Maybe at the time, because a lot of people did drugs and then thought what they were doing was incredible. But I think it holds up far as most 80s things. But her voice sounds good. She sang, or she didn't sing at all. That was all lip sync. Oh, okay. She all lip sync. It was okay. So that makes it a little bit different. But I thought it was, it was good for its time. I think that first song is pretty 80s, man. It's like
fast,
yeah. It was fast, and then the other was kind of a ballad, right? Is that?
Yeah, Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young. But that's what gets confusing is that they used 4 different. I think because even when I'm looking at the soundtrack, even her other 2 songs are under different singers. Sorcerer Marilyn Martin, and then Never Be You Maria McKee. So they pretty much use 4 different. Singers for her,
and it's supposed to be the same character singing.
Same character, yeah.
4 different voices.
Who Maria McKee winds up filling in for Natalie Merchant in 10,000 Maniacs when she left and went solo.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes. And Marilyn Martin wound up doing soundtracks with Phil Collins. I believe she sang on Separate Lives.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. The movie, I think, is good. The movie, you don't like Footloose. The music's terrible if you're just concentrating on the music. But the movie as a whole, with the music, works. It's fun. It's silly. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think sometimes you can't separate it. But I think this is a fun movie. I'd like to see it again. I mean, Willem Dafoe is like creepy as hell in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the one scene where it's just like you just see his shadow, and then he's like watching her creepily while she's performing. You know something's gonna happen, and they just I don't know. The tension in it, I think, is great. It's a tension.
Is it a good
drama.
movie?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's like a good 80s. Yeah, like a blockbuster, fun. I don't know.
That scene with his shadows, that was what opened the film. With Nowhere Fast, where it's great. Where it's cutting between her, it's cutting to him, he's cutting to the motorcycle, it's cutting to
his
him
eyes.
and the crowd. Yeah.
Oh, Willem Dafoe's eyes. And so I think you got to see it as a whole. As a whole, I think it works. Anthony, I have a feeling you don't agree, so I'll go with you.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but based on the clips that I watched, I'm not looking to sit down and watch it anytime soon.
Okay.
The songs, the music was well done. If that's what you're into, good singers. It sounds like it could have been a real song, but it's not a song I want to listen to.
Still better than the Monkees.
I almost picked the Monkees. I like the Monkees.
I know.
I like the show. I had a couple of I had the Headquarters album, which is the first one they actually played the instruments on. And I
wish you would have picked the Monkees, because what you picked was just ridiculous. So yeah.
I like the Monkees. I didn't like this. I didn't.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't think you would. This is not up your alley.
And I'm from the 80s.
No, I know. We know.
But
I don't think this is one of the, this one, and I think Anthony's too. I feel just kind of hold themselves in the movie, where I feel like, this they work in a movie, but in real life, I don't think they work. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
As a band, I don't think it works, but in a movie, this works. Some of the bands in what we talk about today work. And I don't know. I think I'm the only one that my band actually did a live show. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what's going on with that. But all right. So, Jeff.
Well, I'm a little surprised you didn't pick I Can Dream About You, because that was the hit. And the thing, that's Dan Hartman. And Dan Hartman, prior to that, was a big producer who had a big disco hit called Relight My Fire. You could hear it all the time on Studio 54 radio. It was on a lot of different soundtracks that featured disco music. So this was kind of like really a little bit of a departure of what kind of music he made. And I thought it was a great pop hit. Yeah. As far as the Jim Steinman songs that you picked, I love Jim Steinman. He is in my top 3 songwriters of all time. I just think he's incredible. Although I would have liked to have heard better voices singing these songs. Like Bonnie Tyler is, man, she really had that rasp, that dramatic flair that he goes for. It's the reason why he collaborated with Meatloaf, and Celine Dion really, she also was able to capture it. I don't think these singers did, but they were okay songs. I did do what Dustin suggested, and I did watch like video clips, to try and get a sense, because I never saw this movie, because like you said at the top, it was a little confusing. I didn't know what they were kind of going for, what kind of movie it was, so I just kind of passed on it. But I mean, they weren't terrible songs, but as far as like songs that Steinman wrote in the past, I didn't think they were as good.
Yeah, and like I was saying about Footloose, like if you just heard Footloose and never saw the movie, you'd be like, this is awful. But
I only heard Footloose and never saw the movie. And I agree.
Well, that's your problem. Yeah, but the movie, it works perfectly.
Yeah.
But I think, so I think that's another thing with this. Like with all the drama that's happening in this movie, it works. These songs work,
Mm-hmm.
So
what was Kevin Bacon's name in it? Wasn't it like something stupid like Rel?
I don't know.
Rel?
I don't know.
Yeah, I love bad movie names.
John Lithgow was in that. Like he played the dad. Yeah,
I like him. He's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And he was a preacher. He played the preacher that didn't want anybody to dance because dance is of the devil.
That's a plausible premise.
Well, you've never lived in Texas, my friend.
No, I haven't.
It's like
dancing is not allowed.
Yeah, I was burning Kiss albums in 82. So yeah, it's real. It's like, Very cool. All right. So you know what? Let's go to Anthony.
All right.
Fucking
Okay.
Anthony.
Well, let me just say I had a bunch of fake bands that I was considering, but it seemed like what we were trying to do was pick bands that did original songs, right? And so
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, but
so
they
like
can do some covers.
Yeah, but that was the problem I had because so my favorite movie of all time is Wayne's World.
Okay,
and in Wayne's World, Crucial Taunt is Cassandra's band, but it's all covers.
Yeah,
she's doing Ballroom Blitz. She's doing Fire. She's doing whatever. It's all covers. Yeah. And then there was a movie, Airheads, with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi, and they had a band, and they had the Lone Rangers, and they had a song, but it was an old punk song from a band called Reagan Youth that they did in the movie. So I was having a hard time finding a fake band that I liked with original songs, and so I picked the band from School of Rock, which I think was called School of Rock, with Jack Black, who I think is great. I was also thinking maybe Tenacious D is considered a fake band, but then I was starting to. I mean, I love Tenacious D.
Nah, if you can sell tickets, then you're a real band.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that they had won Grammys, so I was like, okay, they're not a fake band. But I love their stuff. Yeah, they play shows and whatever. But they started out, like being kind of they had like a TV show and they did the movie and whatever. So, so anyway, I went with School of Rock, which is, I saw an interview where Jack Black said that it's his favorite movie that he did in his entire career was School of Rock. And I think the song is great. The song was... it was written by one of the dudes from the band, the Mooney Suzuki.
Oh,
and also, band. and also the Mike White, the screenwriter, helped write the song. And Jack Black sings, and all the kids play instruments and do the backup vocals and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I liked it. It's a great movie, and I think it's a good song. I would listen to the song just as the song. It's kind of an AC/DC sort of vibe to it.
Yeah, I think I just listen to AC/DC. But well, one thing I want to say, you said something that surprises me. It's like you don't have to like the band that we, talk about on the show. Like I do it all the time. Like I don't like Elvis Costello, but I talked about his album. Like I think it's I just want everybody to know that. I think it makes it interesting when you don't like the band and you cover it anyway, and you're like,
when you talk about a thing that you don't like.
Let's put that out there in the Dustin's Vinyl universe, where you don't have to love the band.
I brought Saint Anger a couple weeks back. So
That's true. It kind of did go with the theme, though. Worst.
But that's interesting, though. Yeah, pick one.
Yeah, you don't have to like them. I'm just saying if they go in the genre of what we're talking about. I think this movie's fantastic for sure. It's the Jack, was Black that we all love. Like I think the way he, inspires everyone in the movie and everyone that's watching it. It's all about like finding this thing, pulling things out of children that we normally don't pull out of children, which, usually it's like, oh, you got to be good at math and writing and like nobody's encouraging this other lane that I wish I had as a kid. I wish there were somebody that like encouraged me as an artist and, things like that, where they just kind of like made fun of it, because I didn't, make the grades they wanted or was into the things that they were teaching and stuff. So I love the idea of this whole movie. The band itself, they are good. There are obviously kids that know how to play, but I can't not watch it and not think of 1-800-CARS-FOR-KIDS. So, I mean, as good as they are, it's just a bunch of kids, and I know they're playing, but it's still, I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta get my car and like donate it, So it's just, it's a little, it just feels corny when little kids are playing music. it just always comes off corny, you know. The kids are like, you know, because they're stupid kids. They're not, you know, they don't know anything yet. They're not rock and roll, so they're too innocent for it. And then like he pulls it off. I mean, he's just doing the whole thing. He's the maestro of this whole thing and creating this, you know, fun that's making it work. And the AC/DC cover is fantastic, and you know, he sings it as good as AC/DC. But I just feel like, you know, it is a good time. But you know, as far as taking it serious, you know, maybe. And when the movie came out, they probably could have done a couple of shows. You know, definitely with him, they could have. You know, I don't know if the band would hold on its own. But
yeah, they would have to have him. But I think maybe that's the trade-off because so like in this movie, they do all the songs and stuff. And, you know, another one I consider, because you suggested That Thing You Do, and that's a great song from a fake band. But the actors are not playing on the recording.
No, it's the band Fountains of Wayne.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was written by that dude. And I don't know.
Well, I think some of this is what's happening. Like even Jeff's band, it's like, you know, maybe the band is real, but the singer's not. And the guy's lip syncing and whatever. So, you know. So
but anyway, so that's why I went. That's why I went.
You don't have to. I'm still gonna make fun of you that you chose this child band, which is just funny. It's perfect. Of course you did. You never, you know, it's always gonna be something weird with you, which that's why you're on the show, because you have your Kink shirt with your Beatles. You know what I mean? Like that's who you are. I like it. I like it. You should buy this shirt, and Anthony does it. Before he gets a cease and desist letter. You should buy these shirts.
Buy my King's Beatles shirt before I get sued for trademark infringement.
Very cool. Adam, what do you think of the old School of Rock band?
School of Rock. I remember this. I haven't seen this movie since it. I think it's since it came out, but I remember it being a lot of fun. It was a Linklater film. I think this was Jack Black's first lead role, right?
I think so. He's done. I mean, feels like it, but
because he had High Fidelity and
Orange
County
guy.
before.
He's the cable guy. Orange County. He did. I guess he's a supporting role.
Yeah, supporting roles in those. But I mean, you could tell like even I don't even remember. Did he sing in High Fidelity?
He sang, he sang like, in the record store. But he's
Don't
great.
They do a show at the end?
Oh, they do.
Something?
You're right. He does.
Let's Get It On.
Yep.
Yeah. But was that him? That was
him
probably
singing.
That guy can do anything. He's a song and dance man. He can do whatever.
I'm surprised he didn't sing in The Cable Guy. I just watched that the other day, and Jim Carrey sings. He's great in it.
Yeah.
He's great.
They had a karaoke scene too.
Yeah. And he's there. He just doesn't sing.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you don't feel like singing in every movie, you know? You got to pay for that, baby.
That's true.
That's probably what he's saying. You want me to sing? Double the salary. Jeff. Oh, are you finished, Adam? Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say the other
You're
thing.
high today.
This is School of Rock is a great soundtrack. I mean, you have the Modern Lovers on it. Metallica was on it. The Darkness and Black Keys are on it.
Yeah.
Definitely a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a fantastic movie. I like it. It's just funny. Jeff.
Yeah, I like it. I love this movie. I think Jack Black absolutely can sing. I don't know if you ever heard him do More Than Words. He did it with Fallon. It was excellent.
He's great. He can
kind of like a spoof.
Oh,
really
I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's great.
What I like about him in this movie is how low key his performance is. Like he's not over the top at all.
Well, it's funny because compared to Tenacious D stuff, it's a little toned down.
Yeah, it's true.
But,
it's true.
But you know what? I think all the songs on it are great. The originals, the covers. It also has the greatest name in a movie. Mr. Schneebly is such a great name. Ned Schneebly. It's such a funny name. And the guy who played Ned Schneebly, because he takes over his character to get the job at the private school because he got kicked out of his band. And here's a little piece of trivia is that final scene when they have like the big contest. That was filmed at the St. George Theater right here in Staten Island.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's a great theater. I saw Peter Frampton there.
It's fantastic. So I mean, this was a good choice, man. Like I said, I thought this was a really good fake band. I think if If I was you, I would have picked That Thing You Do, because that is such a great movie. Both these movies, if they come on TBS or something, and you're flipping, you put down the remote and you wind up finish watching
it's pretty great. I love
I don't think I've seen The Thing You Do. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you would love it. You would absolutely love it. That's a
Wait, you didn't see it?
I don't think I saw it. I've seen I don't think I've watched it like all the way through. I mean, I'm very familiar with the movie. Yeah, I'm sure, but yeah, I just didn't. You didn't see Streets of Desire, bro. So
I didn't
whatever.
See it. I hadn't even
seen
heard
Footloose.
I never saw Footloose.
How are you on a music show and you haven't seen Footloose?
I have seen Spinal Tap.
Yes. All right. Talk about that soon. Cool. All right. So we all covered it. Everybody got covered? Everybody called on everybody? We good? Good. Okay. All right. Anybody flip it out? Cool. All right. So let's go, Jeff. What do you got, buddy?
All right. So I picked Eddie and the Cruises. Movie came out, I believe, in 83. Okay. Did okay at the box office, not a major hit, but okay. But what happens is and I think Adam found out about it this way, or had talked about this at one point. In 84, the movie goes on HBO and really finds an audience, and the thing kind of blows up. The movie takes place this fictional band down in Jersey Shore, Eddie and the Cruises, and Eddie Wilson, who's played. I can't believe we have Michael Paré has made 2 movies, and we're covering them both today. Okay, because he is the lead in this, and you also have a young Tom Berenger. He's the word man in the movie, and it's kind of like the disappearance, like the disillusioned rock star. You know, he made these songs for the record company, and then he was going to release his big masterpiece, Season in Hell, and the record company was disenchanted with it, and he's had a hard time handling fame, and he just disappears. And you don't know what the mystery of Eddie Wilson is. But the music is done by a real life band called John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. They're from, I believe, Providence, Rhode Island. Okay, made their bones playing all around Massachusetts, doing the club scene. And when they got the gig, they were the producers were looking for a sound. They wanted a combination of Springsteen, because it's Jersey Shore, Dion on the Belmonts, because this takes place in the 1960s, and The Doors, because he's a mysterious guy and who kind of disappears, and we don't know what kind of happens to Eddie Wilson. He writes, I think, On the Dark Side, which is one of the big hits, and 10 years, and I think the producers are blown away on how good the songs are, and he winds up scoring the whole thing. But this was a real band. They still play to this day, and it's really good.
So he lip syncs the
Michael Paré is absolutely lip singing. Tom Berenger's pretending to play the piano.
Tom Berenger on piano. It's the funniest thing. I have actually seen this movie either, but I did watch all the videos, and it's like just watching Tom Berenger. I'm just waiting for like some gun to come out and him to just run.
Sergeant Bonds, maybe the best character in any movie. Yes, but
somebody's gonna get shot. Yeah, shot in the head. Yeah, I couldn't tell if this was like a real band or not, because it seemed like it was huge. Like that video was gigantic. The On the Dark Side, like they played that video over and over. That was a big MTV loop. Like it was always on. So that song, I never really knew if it was a real band or not. I couldn't tell. I feel like Springsteen wish he had that song On the Dark Side. I mean, it's so Springsteen, but it's almost a little better. Like it's polished. Like I feel like Springsteen could have really used that song to make Anthony like him. But I think it's
it has the saxophone, it has the piano in it.
This is like it's interesting, this whole thing we're doing today, because it's like this is different. This is almost like Milli Vanilli. It's like a real band, and then somebody's pretending to sing it. So it's kind of hard to that band itself is great, but who did they have sing when they were on the road and stuff?
It was Beaver Brown.
Okay, so there was
the Beaver Brown.
Oh, okay,
John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
Okay, so he's Okay, so they sing. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And they would tour and they would sing these songs. The 3 big hits off of this was Wild Crazy Nights, 10 Years, which was a ballad, and On the Dark Side, which is, like you said, I mean, it is definitely a Bruce song.
Yeah. And they're good. I think musically, this is the more serious band. here. Like I feel like it works the best out of all the bands. I feel like this is definitely like, these guys are like solid musicians. You could tell they've, played forever and they're tight. They're with each other. It's not a parody. They're not making fun. Like they're a real band. But yeah, it was good. Like I said, it was a big part of my MTV world watching it and stuff. Anthony, you big Eddie and the Cruisers fan?
No, I hadn't really heard much.
You don't like real Springsteen. You don't like fake Springsteen.
Nah.
You don't like Springsteen light.
It's all the same to me.
Poor Bruce.
I did pick up the Springsteen kind of vibe. I mean, it's well done. It sounded like it could have been a real band. To me.
They are a real band.
Yeah, but it didn't. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I would say I probably would choose this over Springsteen if somebody said you have to pick one.
Really?
I would say, yeah, give me Eddie and the Cruisers.
The hate
Anything
is real. It is real.
Anything with Springsteen.
Poor Bruce. I'm gonna have him on the 100th episode show, and he's gonna like just rip Anthony for like 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about my music.
I'll make sure he's drinking first. So he's
somehow we can get Bruce and John Cougar Mellencamp on. That would be.
Let me make some calls. I'll see what I can do. Adam.
Man.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen Eddie and the Cruisers in years. All I remembered was On the Dark Side and him crashing the car in the river.
Yes.
But
over the bridge.
Yeah, over the bridge.
Right.
None of these. Well, maybe School of Rock, but the other movies weren't on streaming. But good thing Blockbuster's coming back now. But Tender Years, I was listening to it. I'm like, this sounds exactly like Backstreet's, and pretty much the only difference. Well, I mean, the main difference is it opens with a saxophone on here, and on Backstreet's is a piano. But I mean, this is really, I think. I guess Dustin, you said before that it sounds a lot like polished Springsteen.
Yeah.
And all three of these songs are very Springsteen-esque.
No, that's
I mean, you would know that more than Anthony and I, because we don't listen to a lot of Springsteen. But what I know is, that's what it feels. But it's like, I don't think I saw this movie either, but I watched the clips. It was one of those that was always on. The video was always on. So I felt like I watched the movie because the video is very dramatic and they show the crashing of the car and all the stuff. So you feel like you saw most of the movie.
I never saw the video.
I did. I saw it all the time. It was always on. It's like,
but I remember this used to be on HBO a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
YouTube has the video and it's great. It's a good video. I mean,
when they used to show the video, was it as Eddie and the Cruisers or was it the name of the real band?
I think it was both. Like they would show, I think they'd show the real band play and then
in the movie, yeah.
But what would come up?
But when they showed the music video, they showed the band, the real band, and then they would show clips from the movie. Yeah. Pretty sure.
But the name that would come up on the screen, it didn't say Eddie and the Cruisers?
I don't know.
I think
really?
I think
okay.
John Caffey's Beaver Brown Band always got credit. Like even on the record, they got credit for because they wrote it. Yeah.
Very nice. It's funny you're talking about Blockbuster. That seems in theory, especially coming, as a vinyl guy and a VHS guy and a DVD guy. But once we're sitting on our couch and realize we got to get that video back on Sunday night, or we'll get, the late fee, you're going to be like, all right, screw this. And then it's just going to go out of business again. Nobody's going to want to return videos on time.
It's pure nostalgia.
Yeah. But after like a month, you're going to be like, all right, dude, I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to go take it. Funny. But VHS, I own this on VHS.
Wow.
I still play VHS copies and stuff. I love the bad quality. A lot of you kids are into the Blu-ray and the good quality and the HD and all that.
Yeah.
I kind of like a bad, kind of wavy, kind of like grainy. I do. That's nostalgia for me, is when you watch something that just feels like the crackle on the album or whatever in the vinyl. All that stuff I like, So yeah, and I couldn't find this. I was looking for. I knew I had it, but I had to find it. So I finally, it was behind the TV and all that stuff. So I found it. I'm very excited. So Spinal Tap, which I think is the greatest fake band movie of all, band and movie of all time. This is one of the great movies. I hadn't watched it in a long time, and I started watching it. It's just so freaking ahead of its time. It's Rob Reiner's first directorial, debut. Like he directs it. He comes right off out of All in the Family. It's from Meathead to like, I'm going to be a serious director, and such a ridiculous movie. And the concept of this movie is, they're following this band, around, and it's got like real people. Like apparently the guy that did the cinematography, Peter Smokely, who shot Gimme Shelter. So it was like they got like real people to kind of film this thing. And nobody got it at first. Like they said, they premiered it in Dallas, and people were like, "Why would you cover this crappy band?" And like they were just like, "Why would you? This band is terrible." And a lot of people didn't realize that it was, a mockumentary, if you will. And so it's just really amazing. Comedians from a TV show. It was called The TV Show. Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, who they're both just phenomenal. You catch him on The Simpsons all the time. Nigel Tufnell, Christopher Guest, and David St. Hubbins and Derek Smalls. And they're the mockumentary is about this band. They're called England's Loudest Band is kind of the whole thing of this band. And you're on tour with them, and you're watching them, and they're just like, everything from the bus to the stage and everything going wrong. And I watched a little thing today, and I think it was Christopher Guest was talking about how he got the idea, and he said he was sitting in a hotel lobby, and this band came up to the counter, and they were about to check into the hotel. It was like a band of these guys he didn't know. And then the manager turned to the guy and goes, "Hey man, where's your bass?" And he goes, I don't know. I think I left it at the airport." And like they were going, "You don't have my bass? You don't have my bass?" And they were just doing this thing back and forth, like, "Where's my bass?" And then he said he watched it for like 15 minutes, and he said it was the greatest thing that he had ever seen in his life. Like this band just having a panic attack, and this guy just doesn't know where his bass is. And he said that's where the wheels started turning on. Let's do this fictitious band, and they're just like the worst and whatever. And so, but what's one cool thing about this is they all did the music. All these guys are, but they're all musically inclined. Like Michael McKean plays guitar and stuff like that. And so they recorded all the music themselves, and then they just kind of they lip synced it in the movie, but it's all recorded by them. They didn't bring in crazy musicians and stuff, but I think the one song or two there might be some professional guys, but mostly it's them. And I think they do a good job. And Big Bottom is hilarious, as far as like just songs go, with like the lyrics alone are just, "My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I like to sink her with my flesh torpedo." You know what I mean? Like you could talk about, Bob Dylan, whoever. I mean, that's some great songwriting there. And but the bass in that is amazing. There's a double bass line that's happening in that song.
Or
what's up?
Talking about the lead bass, or
no? There's two bass lines. They're both two guys playing bass.
That was the guy. They're talking about
lead.
They're like, it's lead bass.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whatever. You know that more than me. But all I know is it sounds groovy. I love it. I think it's good musically. It works. I mean, without the funny lyrics, I think it's still like a decent song.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a movie that if you hadn't seen it, Stonehenge, hilarious. That song, like they take like a band like Yes or like Early Rush or whatever, and they're taking all this kind of mystical stuff, and then they make it, and then apparently, in the movie, if you've seen it, they try to do these Stonehenge props, and they got their measurements wrong, and they're 18-inch, and so it's a little tiny Stonehenge. It's supposed to be this big thing, and they'd all flip it out, and then they had like these little people on the stage with the bells, and like it's just so funny. And it just, it just makes it captures this thing that is actually happening. And as you're watching this mockumentary, you think it's a real band. Not for even a second, you don't think it's real. And then you see like a movie like about Anvil. Remember that band? And, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's almost the same thing. And that is a real band. Like, so. But I think this movie's great. I think the whole mockumentary genre was created kind of off of this movie, and it's so ahead of its time. And the music is good, and they're good. And they did a live show at Wembley Stadium, and they
Wembley,
did
wow.
So it's really great. So I don't know. I feel you guys are up, kind of into Spinal Tap. And Anthony, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah, I love it. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's classic. the amps go to 11.
Yeah.
All of it's still referenced today. Every musician references amps going to 11 still.
Nice.
So, I liked it. All the songs are great. It's very funny. It's perfectly done. I can't think of a movie that's nailed it better than Spinal Tap since then. What was that? 81? You said?
Yeah, 84, I think.
Oh, 84.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, it made me want to do a movie like this about stand-up. I was like, all right, we should just do it, like make fun of all the comics. But Jeff, seemed like you're a Spinal Tap guy.
Oh my God, yeah, a fanatic.
And you've worked behind the scenes, so you know all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I'm obsessed by this movie. It is easily one of the greatest movies. I love Christopher Guest. Waiting for Guffman is one of my all-time top
Best
10
in Show
comedies.
Best in Show too.
Yeah, they're great, but this is the one that started it off. This is amazing. First of all, I like the packaging on it. I like the whole idea of like going into a video store. That was always an exciting thing. But the songs that you picked, Big Bottom, Stonehenge, and Tonight Gonna Rock You. Big Bottom, if you hear the voice, like the way he's singing it, tell me it doesn't sound like a BTO song. And the voice he's doing sounds like Randy Turner on it. Nice. Stonehenge, you were saying mystical. The first thing that popped into my mind was Jethro Tull doing Song from the Wood. Okay, that is exactly what that was. Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You was a good one too. I mean, but there are things about this movie, like when they're trying to get onto the stage, like "Hello, Cleveland," and they go around and they run into the same maintenance guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
and when
come on, man.
And he can't get out of the cocoon. That's my favorite.
Didn't that happen to Bono? Didn't that happen to Bono?
Yeah. Well, it happened on the
zoo,
on the tour when they had the big glass on it.
That's so funny.
They had a big glass.
Zoo TV was it that one? I don't know.
Yeah.
So funny.
There's so many great things on this. Fran Drescher in the movie.
Bobby
Flackman.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Yeah,
she's
perfect.
Great. And didn't you see the comedians that are in this? Billy Crystal is one of the mimes.
Oh, that's right.
And he's training Dana Carvey because he's getting it wrong.
Oh, wow. Is that Carvey? Oh, I didn't even notice. That's fantastic.
Dude,
I gotta watch it again.
This is easily up there with like Tropic Thunder movies that you can't make it ever again. You can never remake a movie like this. This is just perfect.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I loved it. Adam.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's such a perfect movie. It's on so many top 100 lists. I know Empire had this as the number 48 of the top 500 greatest movies of all time. You see this all the time in like the top 10 comedy lists. And when I started listening to Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight, just decided, I hadn't heard this in so long. I'm like, I gotta go through the whole album. And Cups and Cakes, Sex Farm, Christmas the Devil, so many good songs on here.
Adam, what was the song that they sang, the title of it, when they were like that, like a 60s band? Do you remember? Like when they first
to the Flower
started?
People. Was that the one?
Listen to the Flower People.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, that is perfect. It's like early Kinks they're trying to be.
Yep. Yeah, or Dio, Ronnie James Dio. Like he went through phases.
Yeah.
It's like a doo-wop band and stuff.
Yeah, the doo-wop. Yeah.
So good, it's so good. Yeah, I just and nobody, this movie did terrible. It was like one of these movies that just did awful at the box office, and then it just became this cult classic. And people,
when you guys watched it, did you, and like none of your friends really kind of got it? Didn't you kind of feel like, am I missing something? Did you feel like this movie was made for you?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Like if you don't get this movie, you're not cool at all. Like there's nothing to you of value. You're just like you're a cookie cutter, whatever. Like I broke up with a girl one time because she didn't understand Pulp Fiction. Like so, I would not hang out with somebody that didn't like this movie. I just wouldn't. I'd be like, all right, dude, we're done. I was hoping that Anthony liked this movie because we were borderline on a couple of things. So I was really happy. You don't have to like the cult, but you better like Spinal Tap. I'll tell you that. All right, everybody. This is a great show. You want to let us know your fake bands? You can email us. Check us out on the YouTube page and go to vinyl record stores. Support vinyl, and I'll see you guys later. We'll see you later. We love you. Woo.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Was that a keyboard? What was that?
That was my.
Oh, there it is.
My guitar.
Yeah, a little more enthusiasm there. There we go. I like it.
It was just the bass at first.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's how we close the show. All right, everybody. See you guys.